Welcome to Thought Cops, coming to you live from the mean streets of Neo Chicago. I am Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification button, ring the bell so you get alerted to new episodes. And if you do all that, it makes it so we can keep making these videos every week. And for bonus episodes and more, head on over to patreon.com/thoughtcops to support the channel. Hey, Kevin, did you know that we have a new bonus episode out today?
Yeah, I uploaded it 20 minutes ago.
And by today, it's, like 2 days ago.
Yes. Zwick finished editing the episode this morning, and he said it was, quote, the dumbest episode I've ever edited, and I love it so much.
Nice.
We reviewed the Barbie movie with Nico and Josh. That's excellent. See, people might be annoyed by this. Like, why do they start the episode this way? But I hate to tell you guys, it's actually working.
Yeah.
Like, if you just yell at people to subscribe, they do it. And we didn't do that for a long fucking time.
Yeah, we should have. If we would have did that the whole time, we might have had twice the amount of subscribers, maybe.
You see what having respect for your audience gets you? Jack shit.
Yeah, I hate doing it, but whatever.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's terrible. Speaking of which, it's
the opposite of which.
Speaking of terrible.
In spite of a terrible beginning, we have two guests to the show today. We have two returning champions. We got a couple of cartoon characters, a couple of Looney Tunes here on the show. We got Mimiyori and Cheesymanfredo.
Yep, that is me. That's me, Mimiyori. That's my name.
That's me, Cheesymanfredo.
All right.
Clown titties.
I'm Mimiyori, and I hate Among Us. Among Us is the worst game ever made.
Mimiyori. That's not me. That's
it's
like
me,
Bizarro
evil Mimiyori. I'm racist, and I hate Among Us. That's my two traits.
Well,
I'm glad that real version of me is like known for being not racist, so Bizarro version is like extremely racist.
Yeah,
well,
it's always good to hear the Bizarro version's bad.
Yeah. That's always a good stuff.
So for people that don't know if you are or aren't racist, if you two would like to respectively introduce yourselves, what you do, and how people may or may not know you, and then what brings you together on this most auspicious of occasions.
Do you want to go first, Cheesy?
Yeah, I'll go first. Hello.
You can do rock, paper, scissors, but you can't see each other because you're cartoon people.
Right, true. We're like the gorillas.
Right.
No, I insist that you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, my name is Cheesymanfredo. I am a cartoonist. I make comics. I made a comic with Mimiyori. I wrote it. And Mimiyori drew it, and it's pretty epic and based, and it's pretty good.
Wait, hold on. Epic and based?
Epic and based, yeah, both things.
Oh my god!
Is it red-pilled?
It's pretty red-pilled. It's pretty red-pilled. Like if you don't like women, you're gonna love what happens to these women at the end of this story.
Are you still Bizarro Mimiyori?
No, I changed back. Okay. I detransitioned from.
Okay, you're just cheesy now.
Yeah, but basically. Yeah, we did a comic called Extra Souls. It's a horror comic, just in time for the Halloween season, right? And we did pre-orders, and I lagged on it. My fault. I became homeless for a week, and that really sets you back, right?
Yeah,
yeah. If in case people didn't know, if anyone offers you to become homeless, I would say deny that offer. Don't do it.
And Cheesy, I actually have one of your other books right here. We talked to you last time about this. I got Mick Pagliacci.
Hell yeah.
Mick Parody by Cheesy.
Oh, I learned how to say it right on the last episode, but I guess
I think I fucked it up, but
it's fine. I think I say it different every single time. I like
you know what, keep people on their toes, you know?
Yeah, I do. It's called engagement. You fuck up, you say something wrong just so people could correct you, not realizing they're giving you engagement. That's the trick. That's the secret.
Yeah, comment if anyone wants to correct us, sound off in the comments.
Right, exactly. If Grant and Kevin say something incredibly wrong, please point it out. Please, they love it. They love it when we point that out.
You know what? I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of pointing things out, I would like to point out the fact that we have another guest on today's episode, Mimiyori. If you would like to introduce yourself,
well,
also.
Mimiyori, we haven't talked in a while. I think the last time we did, we were raiding the Capitol.
Oh, yeah, that was a fucking long time ago.
Yeah,
we were talking about the role plays and
Oh, I forgot that I missed that.
Yeah, it was crazy. You should have been there. January 6th was nuts,
I was gonna be. I was indisposed.
Did you guys hear that they did that on January 6th? They raided the Capitol. That was crazy.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Yeah, they actually did. And then Will Smith also slapped Chris Rock.
I heard
crazy.
I heard the Capitol was a false flag. I heard it didn't happen.
Anyway, my name is Mimiyori. I am most known for the infamous Among Us Girl comics, which I've discontinued, but people still like them.
Why did you discontinue them?
Well, I discontinued them because I feel like they were meant to end. I don't think, like, a lot of people tell me that they want more Among Us Girl comics, and my answer to that is no, you don't. You don't. Because it was time for them to end. I couldn't keep that series going forever. Every once in a while, I'll, like, draw her or, like, give a nod to her, but I think her story's over at this point. I probably could have milked it a little bit longer, but I decided that I wanted to move on. But I also do another ongoing web series called Serendipity, which is like a story-driven comic that I update every month. You can find that on Webtoon. It's currently not up to date on serendipitycomic.com, but you can read like 99% of it there, and all my other links are on that site too. And we also made Extra Souls, which I illustrated and Cheesy wrote, which we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. And
it seems like this Serendipity is doing pretty good on Webtoons. I'm looking at it. It's got a lot of hearts. It's got a lot of likes. I don't really know anything about this platform or this website or anything like that.
I would say it's doing pretty decent. Like it hasn't like blown up completely, but the dedicated fans are there. There's like 10 or 15 people who love Serendipity and like read it as soon as it comes out. And
you got 124,000 eyeballs. That's a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
2,000 people liked it. That's a lot of likes.
I'm part of that. I'm part of that 15 people who really like Serendipity. I read every chapter. That's because I'm a patron of Mimiyori. So every time she drops a chapter, I'm like, ooh, what's going on in this chapter with Serendipity?
Thank you. Patreon.com/Mimiyori, that plug. $3 only a month, and you get that Serendipity chapter a month early, ahead of the curve. You know all the spoilers.
If you pay enough money,
that's a big deal.
Yeah,
you can really like just fuck with people in the fandom. I know what happens. I'm going to spoil it for you if you don't do what I say.
It's true. You can do that. Yeah.
I've been trying to tell Mimiyori that if to set a goal where if we get enough funds on Patreon, I could do a guest comic where it's a Serendipity, the teen pregnancy arc. We're still on the fence about that.
I don't remember that conversation.
You say that about every conversation we have. You always say, I don't remember having that conversation.
Well, this is a good place to address this, is in front of a couple hundred people that listen.
Hey, come on, man. It's like, well, it's like a little more than that.
Hundred.
It's like a little more than that, okay?
Okay, a few hundred.
Yeah. Millions of viewers that tune in every week.
Sorry, I say a couple, and I always mean it loosely.
A couple means two.
You can stretch it to mean a little more than two.
A few means three.
That's bullshit. I disagree.
I don't know what the hell that means.
I disagree.
Well,
I think a couple could mean, two tree. A few could mean tree four.
I disagree. I
disagree with your disagreements.
If I asked you to give me a couple of M&Ms, you are giving me 2 fucking M&Ms. Are you serious? You're not giving me
I'd slap that shit right out of your hand.
Count them out and
2
hand
M&Ms.
exactly
Get the
2.
fuck out of here.
Yes.
That's wrong.
It's exactly 2. Oh, well,
yes.
Exactly go fuck yourself. Not you. I'm just saying, like, words,
Well, maybe she should have asked for a few, or perhaps several.
Yeah, Mimiyori, be specific next time. Yeah. What's up with that?
If you wanted more candy, you should have asked.
Well, several hundred. Excuse me, sorry. I'll push my glasses up a little higher on my nose and say several hundred.
Yeah, can I have some several hundred M&Ms, please?
I'd be like, you know what? I can't help you there.
Well, speaking of which, so this is this still pre-order? Has this come out yet? Has Extra Souls come out yet? Is it going to come out?
It's already been the pre-orders are over. Unless you want to send a
Slide
couple
in
of
the
ex,
DMs.
you know, if you're a close friend of mine and you DM me, I'll give you a form if people are like super interesting. A couple of buddies have like asked me like, hey, is it still available? And I'm like, well, since you're a buddy, I'll let it slide. I'm still working on organizing the book. It's just that, I wasn't joking when I said I was homeless for a week, and that really set me back.
Mm-hmm.
And
right, I didn't want to like make a joke and trample because
No,
I know
it's
that it was serious.
It was serious. But after that, no, but we're fine. We're totally good right now. But after that, like once we got our new place, I started doing like double shift at my job. So I just had no time. I barely had any time to do anything art related, just coming home like super tired and whatnot. So those books have been lagging, but they are coming. I'm working on it. We just finished, we have there was a popularity poll that me and Mimiyori ran, and Mimiyori just finished like the results, the little poster that has all the winners on it. And that's going to be in the book. So people won't know until they get their copies. Right. And in other news, I did, during the time that I was like doing double shift, I was organizing like a pitch package of Extra Souls to submit to a publisher called Silver Sprocket. Because this past month they had like open submissions, so
sounds familiar.
Yeah. They did the book Pinky and Pepper Forever. They published that book.
No, that's not where I know it.
Okay, well, well, it's a good book.
Why.
So
I know my friend Alex had his book done.
Okay,
nice. Yeah, so I submitted it, made a pitch package, and made it real professional. Like I have a buddy who's like a former employee at IDW, which is another publisher, and I like ran it
the
through
intellectual dark web.
Yeah,
and that man's name was Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
What are you friends with Sam Harris?
I sent
Get out of here.
To Jordan
Actually,
Peterson.
he's Ham Hair. Wait, what did she say? I just listened to
Patreon.com/thoughtcops. You'll get an earful.
Nico's biting satire, calling someone named Sam Ham.
I was just like, yeah, there's a person named Ham, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, I just haven't heard that name.
Oh, that's not his name. Okay, he's overweight. I see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's funny. Haha.
But
John Ham. That's a name, right?
It's actually John Sam.
John. Oh, okay, my bad.
Ham does not exist ever.
That's insane. That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
That's crazy, dude. What are you even saying to me right now?
Yeah, what is even happening, man?
But anyway,
Ham doesn't exist. Yeah, go ahead.
We submitted that, and it's it looks real professional like, and we're not gonna get we won't hear back until like maybe under 2 months because like over 700 people submitted, right? But if I had to guess, 90% of those submissions are probably garbage. So I think we're gonna. I think we got it in the bag.
In general, most things are garbage. But could y'all hit them up with a hey, look how many people pre-ordered this? People love it.
I didn't. I said that we have it like available. I linked both of our social medias. I did add a couple of like things because Silver Sprocket likes kind of like publishing kind of like POC creators or like people in like queer creators or whatnot. So I specified I'm a Mexican bisexual, in the little pitch package, kind of make it stand out a little bit more.
I'm gonna have to try that soon.
Yeah, you should. I recommend it. Yeah.
That's why I'm not getting hired. I'm a Mexican bisexual.
Well, Kevin, affirmative action's over, so you can get into Harvard.
Oh yeah,
never mind
with that.
Finally, I can go to Harvard.
well, good thing
this Harvard shit's too hard. I'm out.
I specified Mimiyori is white in the pitch package. So.
White woman. The most oppressed fucking.
Yeah.
And I wrote my comic with a cartoon character.
Actually, she's blue.
Yeah, I'm blue.
You want to talk about? I'm not going to make the joke. Person of
we've already danced on the edge a little too far here.
Yeah, can only dance on so many edges until people are like, no more plausible deniability for you. That's not ironic anymore. That's just how you feel in your heart, and I don't feel that way.
So I wanted to ask you guys, like, you guys have known each other for a while, because I think, like, Mimiyori, I think, like, you might have, like, mentioned Cheesy, like, the last time you were on this show, and, like, I knew of both of you from like Twitter and stuff like that, but how did you two link up to be like, us specifically should make this comic?
Well, we've been kind of Twitter friends since I only had like 4,000. So this was before Among Us Girls, so it's not like Cheesy was leeching off me or anything.
No, I mean now I'm leeching off of her, but
no, but
not
we
before.
were friends from I don't know if you've heard of him, the not very well known comedian Asterios Kokonos.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. It's kind of underground.
Yeah, he something about Justin Wang. I think Justin Wang.
I heard he stalked a guy from a comedy club or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I don't
like,
really know what's going on with that.
He sends
if this man follows you home from the comedy club, run.
Yeah.
The hell out of there.
As fast as you can.
Never start a podcast with this man. Never have him on.
Yeah.
He'll stalk you.
Never cross Asterios Kokonos, because under that veneer of niceness, there's a monster under there, They're waiting to pounce, waiting for their next target.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately we were both somewhat fans of this horrible person.
Yeah.
So we started kind of like talking, and we retweeted each other's stuff on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. And then Cheesy hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to illustrate this comic?" And I was like, "Sure." That's basically it.
So he's the ideas man.
Yeah.
From which all good things flow.
I'm kind of an ideas guy.
So what was the ideas? And because I've always been interested in like the creation of like especially long form comics, because you hear all these noise and you're like, written by Alan Moore, and you're like, Alan Moore made Watchmen, and it's like, no, he didn't. He just wrote it, and it's like, oh well, who drew it? I don't know who drew it. I don't fucking know the artist who drew it. But Alan Moore wrote it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so like what's the process of like having the idea and then taking it to someone else and going like, hey, I got this idea, but you do it.
Low key, it was like 6 years in the making, if I'm going to be honest.
Whoa!
Because it was supposed to be a short film that I was going to make 6 years ago. I wrote a script, and the idea actually came to me from freaking y'all know JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah,
I am familiar with it. Yes.
Yeah, there's a part in I think it's part 5 where there's this like kind of little like JoJo is just filled with kind of like really scary kind of like concepts, and there's one where like it's like they're prisoners and they go to like a farm to do some labor, and then they realize there's like an extra person among them, but they don't know who it is, right? And I'm like, okay, well, what if that was just a self-contained story instead of like attached to
an
wider
element of something else? Yeah,
right, exactly. So I rearranged it, and it also got inspired by because the setting is like a storm drain, and it actually is based on a real storm drain. I used to go down there and smoke weed with my buddies, and I'm thinking like, oh, what if like a scary monster showed up?
That's what you said to your friends when you're smoking weed. What if a monster just fucking popped out and killed
Worst
us?
person to be high around. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that sucks. You can't do that to people.
It's not my fault. I was like horror movie pilled when.
Are you one of those people who's always like scary high?
No, I'm pretty like chill, but this was during my era where I was trying to become the Kanye West of horror films.
Okay.
I'm still.
Do you still stand by that statement?
I'm still. I'd be lying if I said there isn't a little tiny part of me that's like, oh, but maybe I still could be the Kanye. I'll be the Kanye West of horror film, just without the anti-Semitism or the weird like school that he runs, or everything else that he fucking does, because like there really is like.
At that point, you have to kind of change the person.
I'll be different.
I'll think of some. I don't know. I'll pick someone later. I'll worry about whichever celebrity.
Tiger Woods.
I'll be the Tiger Woods of horror
comics.
Yeah,
Serena Williams.
Put that on your resume. It's going to be awesome.
I'll be the Will Smith of horror films. You won't see me coming when I walk on stage.
It's a good
I actually I read the first chunk of pages because I guess they're
this
free.
is available to people. Correct on like
it's free.
Tumblr.
Free.
Tumblr, it's on Mimiyori's TikTok, on her Twitter. I put it on my TikTok just to kind of
people
boost up
read
the numbers.
comics on TikTok?
Oh,
I
yeah,
probably
they
sound like
do.
an idiot asking this question, but
Yes, they do.
Okay.
I do.
You do
what,
some
what is
pretty...
it like? What is that like? Like, what if you're not like ready for the next page and like stop, go back?
Oh,
So
TikTok
there is
has
like an
a
auto scroll feature. If you like upload multiple photos, like it will scroll for you, sort of thing. So like you can not only do that with like comics, you can do that just with like images. So people do like a a meme in 3 parts, sort of thing.
There's it's like a photo gallery feature where you could go back and forth between yeah. So I do that. I mostly just post like the little 4-panel kind of like shit post comics that I make. Like I'm pretty sure you guys have seen them around.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
I have too. I've also seen them.
I see you guys like.
I haven't seen that shit.
Oh,
you got to check it out.
Not surprised. not surprised. Mimiyori hates comics. Actually, she hates making comics.
That's so true. I do hate making comics.
Yeah, just like any art.
Kidding.
Just like any art, the best part of making a piece of art is finishing it. The process is like very like, oh boy, geez, this sure is way harder than I remember it last time being.
I've heard people say the opposite, that it's the process of the whole thing. You get to the end, you just throw it out. It doesn't even matter.
That's true, actually. You know what? I was going to argue with you, but that's true.
He's real for that one.
The process, depending who I'm talking with, I'll switch up what I really believe. But
that's good.
Yeah, I do like drawing. I can't relate to like, when I finish it, I want to throw it away because I don't make trash. All my stuff is pretty top tier.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. But what was I gonna say? So anyway, yeah. So when I'm like, we were high in a storm drain. And I was like, what if a big scary monster showed up and started chasing us? And then like I'm
going home, man. You're too much.
I was designated driver, so they got nowhere to go. But
wait, oh my god! So your friend
that's a horror comic, damn.
Yeah.
You smoked your friends up, didn't smoke, and then just like scared them in his sewer. I'm sorry, I'm not to be too.
I'm your only way home.
That's Extra Souls 2, where it's like there's no monster. It's just like one friend who's like super high and won't let you escape.
Hey, the real monster is humanity.
True.
I think we've all learned that.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So I combined that with the kind of the JoJo idea, and I workshopped it. And I was helping a lot of buddies do short films. I was doing a couple of them too. And I thought like, this one's going to be the banger, but it was very kind of annoying process. And there was like a lot of miscommunications, and the production got dragged for like 2 years, and we're like, okay, we're like out of money and everyone's kind of tired of this. I don't know how much of the original footage I have. I don't have enough to edit a movie or anything out of it. I just have like certain scenes that we managed to finish, right? But anyway, I kind of still like the story. And then after years, I thought like, maybe I should make this into a comic, but I'm busy with like other comics. So I should probably like collab, and I want to collab with like more people, because I kind of just like the idea of having a massive library with my name on it on each book, but not that I necessarily like wrote or drew all those books,
Trying to be the Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly. The Harvey Weinstein of horror comics.
Man, I was watching Paddington last night, and just like,
does he have anything to do with that?
It's like every time the Weinstein logo like comes up at the beginning of the movie, it's just like,
Did Paddington come out before all those allegations?
I actually
think
don't know,
because
I feel like it must.
I think it must have. Yeah,
I don't think they would have kept it. They're like, this is a story about a lovable teddy bear. Also, we know how evil Harvey Weinstein is. Here's a quick reminder of that.
That last Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't have the Weinstein logo on it, right? That was like the first non-Weinstein.
Is it still like named after the same production
I can see,
like, is it still Weinstein Films, but they just take the logo off?
If they change the name, it's probably smart to do that, because you don't want to watch a movie and then like notorious rapist name pops up on screen. sets
It ruins the mood a little bit.
It does ruin the mood a little bit.
It says defunct as of July 2018.
Damn.
Oh, maybe it just folded. I mean, I don't know anything about any of this really when it comes to, like, when people are like, oh, there's this evil guy named Harvey Weinstein. I was like, I don't know who, like, I don't care enough about movies. I just care about, like, oh yeah, Fight Club, that's cool. Oh, Taxi Driver, great, my favorite. Oh, Joker, sign me up for it.
All
I
good
don't know
movies,
who's like
all 10 out of
making
10.
them.
Well, he doesn't even make it. He's just like the producer. He's like, here's money. You guys make it and put my fucking dumb logo at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what producers do.
That's
honestly.
that's what I want to be. Is put my dumb name on everything.
It's a great gig.
Right.
I saw that musical. That was good. The Producers. Also
nice.
a movie. Also a movie that's a musical. It's three things.
It's also
unprecedented.
It's also the premise for one of the seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
I haven't seen that.
It's a good show. Larry David is literally me. I'm literally Larry David.
Larry David is actually my spirit animal, not yours.
I'm gonna be the Larry David of horror films.
Hey, you're moving up. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, from an anti-Semite to a Jew. I'm like leveling up out here.
You could use that in one of your bars, maybe. Or well, you're not doing rap. You're doing.
I'll do that. I've been seeing that Dracula Flow guy around, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. Dressed up like Dracula and like spit out some bars.
Oh, that sucks. Why would anyone do that? That's so terrible.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's some of them.
Dracula Flow.
There's a couple heaters in there. Like there's a line I remember where he's like, I don't care if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag. I thought that went pretty hard.
I guess it is kind of hard.
Okay, well, look, I'm not doing them just. You have to.
I don't like themed like rap, or if the theme's like good, like,
excuse me, polka rap? Fuck you, Grant.
Oh, well, rap. I mean,
what is an example of that?
Do you mean like
that's the theme? The theme is Pokemon.
Is it?
Yeah, I was
going to
ask.
Polka, like
I also thought you meant like Polish people rapping, which sounds bad, doesn't
the
it?
Polka
I'm
rap.
right.
No, she's right. She's right. That
Pokemon rap theme
so
is
good.
The theming is amazing, and the rap is amazing.
Yes,
I was going to say I like that handsome boy modeling school. That's fun, but it depends. It depends on what the theme is.
I don't like
Dracula is a no-go for you, basically.
I don't know. I've been reading Dracula. I'm signed up for that Dracula Daily where they send you a chapter of Dracula every day. And it's not good. You never heard this? I posted it in the Discord.
I don't see everything that goes on.
Wait.
I saw you.
You should read that Books channel.
I saw you tweet about it.
On in there.
I saw you tweet about it, Grant. The Dracula Daily.
Yeah, so it's
I see.
So Dracula is an epistolary novel where it's all just like newspaper clippings and people's diary entries, and every day that something happens in Dracula, you get a little email in your inbox that is a chapter of Dracula.
It's kind of whimsical.
Not a good book. I do not like it. I'm glad I'm reading it this way instead of sitting down and reading it as a book because, man, does it suck. But, I wouldn't rap as Dracula. That'd be even worse.
I heard Frankenstein is the far superior novel.
I've heard good things about Frankenstein.
And a better rapper, too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
True. My least favorite part of we read the Frankenstein novel back in high school. My least favorite part is the part where, like, the monster comes back and he's like, I can speak full sentences now, Dr. Frankenstein.
No. Let
me tell you everything that happened while I was learning this. And also let me tell you about the familial history of the guy who taught me to speak. Because it's very important that you know all this. And then it's kind of like this little mini story within the story of him talking about the family lineage of some French guy who taught him how to speak. And it's like, why is this in here?
Well, I've also heard, I think that there's like revised editions of it that like Mary Shelley's like initial one is like the gold mine one, and that she like kept revising it and people are like, it's kind of shitty now, or it's not as good, it's not up to par.
Actually, you know what? Frankenstein's monster would be a terrible rapper. You know why?
Why?
because he put out a song and people be like, "Yo, this is fire," and he'd be like, "Oh, fire bad."
Okay, that was good.
He
That
thinks
was
you're
good.
insulting him.
Yeah, this is fire. Kevin, I think I'm gonna steal that. Make that into a comic.
You better put my fucking watermark over that.
Yeah.
fan.
Okay. I'll put. You know what?
Producer.
Written by Kevin. Written
It's gonna
by
be the
Kevin.
Weinstein logo, but instead of a W, it's a big like K.
Written by Kevin. Drawn by Cheesymanfredo. And I'll post it on TikTok and I'll send it to you so you'll see how this TikTok comic game works.
No, he won't see that.
No, I don't really. No.
No, I'll post it on Twitter. X. You know, I'll post it around. You'll see it.
Thank you.
I don't want to dead name Twitter.
Like, somebody show some respect.
There should be a revised version of Frankenstein where at the end, Dracula shows up and he's all like, "I'm putting together a team to like Frankenstein," and that's where it ends. And you're like, "Oh wow, fuck yeah, we're gonna see the Dracula Frankenstein."
Yes.
The multiverse. The Wolfman.
That was supposed to happen. Do you remember this?
Yeah, they've been teasing a monsters cinematic universe for a while.
No, this like totally like Google the Dark Universe.
Right.
The Dark Universe.
Yes.
Yeah, there was like only. Wait, hold on. Okay, maybe they're actually bringing it back because last I heard it was like Dead in the Water because it was like it was the Mummy, the Invisible Man, and then like they're just like, "This sucks, we're done." But then apparently Renfield is like part of this.
What the fuck is Renfield?
Wait,
is that a
the
thing?
characters from like Hotel Transylvania and shit.
Yes, there are. Yeah, they're in that movie too.
I forgot Mimiyori's 14.
Shut up.
But
there is.
With Nicolas Cage. I'm totally unfamiliar with this. I haven't gotten to that chapter in Dracula. Apparently,
where
everybody shit on this idea, and then now it's kind of like, you know what? Fuck it, just make it.
I heard that the remake of the Invisible Man movie or the whatever the fuck
the
they
most
did with it
recent one
wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. And also, Tom Cruise remade The Mummy, and I heard that was bad.
That was the first one in this cinematic
the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What a dumb name. That's why it failed. The Dark Universe.
The Invisible Man one is really scary. The recent ones had a very scary concept because it's kind of like, what if you had an abusive boyfriend, but he was invisible? And I was like, damn, I would shit myself.
Scary.
That is scary, because he's already abusive, but now he's invisible. Like,
yeah, where the fuck is he?
Yeah, you won't see it coming. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that, like, just the, because again, I haven't seen it, but considering the fact that I am writing a book about an invisible person, it has piqued my interest a bit. I don't want to, like, rip things off from that type of shit, but I've heard that some of the ambiance in the movie regarding, like, you don't know if he's in the room or not, but he could be, is sort of like what makes that movie great, and that interests me greatly.
They've been doing that bit since like the original Invisible Man.
Drop Dead.
Yeah,
friend.
but I watched the original Invisible Man, and that also is garbage. That's a bad movie.
I love that one. But that one's so funny. That one's so funny. It's a comedy.
It is funny.
Like the scene where the cops, they're all like, "Oh, we don't know if the Invisible Man's in this room. Let's bring up a net and walk across the room with the net. And if somebody gets caught, he's in here."
I would be like, if I was invisible, I'd be like, oh fuck. Here comes the net.
Invisible Man.
You just stand there and wait till the net goes over you.
I can't go anywhere. The door's closed and I'm stuck here, and they're like slowly just carrying a net across the room. Got me.
A net, his one weakness, finally exploited. They should have let me be the Kevin Feige of the Dark Universe, because I would have made it like successful. I have a whole Dark Universe concept in my head, and it would have been fire. It would have been 10 out of 10. The MCU, they would have like just ended their own life if they saw what I would have done with the Dark Universe. That's all I'm saying.
They can still start over. I mean, like the DC universe like was a flop, and now they're doing that over.
I still can't get over that they were like, hey, we're going to do a DC cinematic universe. Check this out. We're going to do Suicide Squad. And everyone was like, no, you're not going to do Suicide Squad. And they're like, shit, we fucked up Suicide Squad. we made Suicide Squad, and people are, no, you made this, and they're like, no, this is the Suicide Squad. And it's like, what the you can't just do that.
Those movies are like, I'm convinced they were just made to like play on TNT during the day for no one to see. Because like every time I go to the gym, like TNT is on the TVs, and it's always fucking like Man of Steel or Suicide Squad or any of those movies. Like,
that's probably a huge market, but
yeah. For people who just have the TV on in the background at 2 p.m.
People would like they'd be like, actually the Suicide Squad is actually a good movie. I'm not watching either of them. I don't care.
I did hear it was good.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
I liked it. I liked the Suicide Squad.
You know what else is probably good? Heroin, but I'm not trying that either.
Who's saying heroin is good?
Heroin addicts.
Man, hot take. Heroin is better than the Suicide Squad. I'll just say that much. It's much better.
Okay, so and you said you like the Suicide Squad, so that must mean you love heroin.
Yeah, true. I mean,
Kevin, I know it's probably difficult to believe, but some people love heroin.
I don't see the appeal.
I would never.
Well, I'm saying I also don't see the appeal, but I feel like we're losing the thread.
I would never suck dick for the Suicide Squad, but people suck dick for heroin, so I'm like, it must mean it's better, right? I mean, that's the evidence right there.
That's
right?
a good point. Yeah.
So tell us about so we heard about the backstory. You scared some people in a drainage ditch, said, what if there was a monster down here trying to kill you? Also, I'm your only ride home. So from conception to realization, and you said you're still sort of like piecing it together, but from the creative process, people are always talking about that. Why don't you tell us about that, the creative process?
Oh, wait, can I interrupt for a second? You guys don't hear cicadas in the background, do you?
I hear some cicadas.
Okay, fuck. I was going to close my windows.
That'll just...
slightly.
No, I don't think cicadas.
If someone tells a bad joke, just open your window a little more.
If anything doesn't land, yeah.
It's similar, yeah.
Cicada season.
I just will say, it's just like anime, actually.
Well, Cheesy sent me a bunch of links to Google Drive folders of like a bunch of sketches he had, and then basically the entire comic story thumbnailed out. So he had like these little doodles of what each panel was going to do. So honestly, I didn't have to do a lot of the super heavy lifting when it comes to like framing and all that kind of stuff, because Cheesy mostly already had it like mapped out. But the sketches were very like bare bones, so I obviously had to like completely draw it from scratch in that aspect.
Yeah. It's it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, because like I was actually going through an old notebook in my room the other day, and I saw you. So, Mimiyori, you did the Family Guy artwork for like our Twitter header and other stuff.
Nice.
And I actually, the sketch I sent you for like the framing for that was like in that notebook.
That's crazy.
Like, all the people's names in the window and stuff.
Yeah. Those are really helpful for artists, because I mean, when you commission an artist, they can't read your mind. And even if you can't draw exactly what you want, because obviously if you could, you just do it yourself, you can at least pinpoint like, this is where I want this is where I want this, and that's like very helpful. And Cheesy obviously knew that, because he's an artist too, so he was able to put down like the framework, and I was able to illustrate it. It still took me so long to actually finish it though. I procrastinated a lot when making Extra Souls, but Cheesy was very cool, even though I probably annoyed him with it.
It's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if Mimiyori didn't finish it earlier, I would have not become homeless. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all.
He's not saying that.
I'm not saying that. I love Mimiyori. We love Mimiyori, folks. Love Mimiyori.
So true.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, and I did give Mimiyori like a lot of like I told her, if there's anything you want to change, just go ahead, because like I fully trust her, and I think I mentioned this on my own podcast that Mimiyori already knows this, that she wasn't like my first pick. There was like a handful of people,
and you constantly remind her of that. Don't
I do.
Yeah, I'm constantly humbled by that.
Right.
You were not exactly who I was thinking of originally.
Right, but
his first pick was Alan Moore, but he realized he doesn't draw them. He's also the ideas guy, and you can't have two ideas guys. His second pick was Kanye West, and we all know how that.
And he was gonna do it. But the divorce happened, and that was like sidetracked. And it's all like
yeah, it kind of set him off a little, I think.
And I told him like, look, if you don't want to do the comic because I know you're going through all this, we could postpone it. He never got back to me. He did see my DM, but he never got back to me. So I assume he was busy.
He left you on red.
Yeah, he left me on red basically.
Yeah, okay.
The one advantage Mimiyori had was that she actually like finished the comic before, you know, like which is a great on your resume if you actually have ever finished.
I do that sometimes. I do finish comics sometimes, so I have that.
Yeah. Oh, on her Patreon, I don't think she's posted this comic publicly, but on her Patreon, she has posted like a couple mini comics, and there was one that was really good that she did where it's like this chick who could bend spoons, and I was like, yo, this goes pretty hard. This might be the one to do Extra Souls, so I approached her about it, and yeah,
Sheila Kazam.
Right, exactly. So it it like worked out, and I think that's like pretty much it with like how we kind of planned it kind of creatively, you know. Yeah, I had like
I read the script, just like the Google Doc script, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. So after finishing that, I was like, yeah, I'll do this. I'll draw this for you.
I know you mentioned like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure plot, but like what were some visual inspirations? Because I saw, like I said, I read the preview chunk of this, and there's a lot of like like you mentioned, like framing looks really good. Like certain panels are bigger and have a lot of wide spaces to show sort of like the desolate, maybe oncoming horror that could happen. So I wanted to know, like, what were some like inspirations for you guys, like when you were doing this?
Well, the actual real Storm Drain was pretty inspiring.
Well, I guess they meant like artists or anything like that, if there is anything.
Yeah.
Trying to.
Did you watch it and you were like, oh yeah, there's another Storm Drain,
another Storm Drain killer coming. Damn, it's so funny because I wish I could remember everyone who has like inspired me like artistically or like like framing wise or whatnot, but I always kind of lose track of like names because a lot of the people who did inspire me were people I read when I was like a kid, and I kind of lost track of all those like fucking names and whatnot, but I'll say this, that it was real, like, so I had like the storyboards for the short film were like finished, and I just kind of just translated that into a comic, which is like pretty easy to do if anyone has like like tried doing that. And I usually actually do.
Yeah, it sounds that's why I don't do it. It sounds like a kind of a cakewalk, so I'll do something harder,
right? But
do you think it's easier to like adapt something into a comic versus a short film? Because I know you said originally you were thinking a short film.
I think,
and I'm sure they both have their like challenges and difficulties.
I think more, if you make a short film, more people are probably going to see it than like a comic. I mean, it depends on like how, if you go viral or not with it or whatnot. You don't make money off of a fucking short film, I'll tell you that much, because none of us were like making like anything out of the short films we were making. Because making a short film is like gambling, really, because like the plan,
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you make the short film and you have to put it in a film festival where like actual important people are, like people who can like look at it and be like, oh wow, this is great. Do you want money to make this longer, or do you want money to make another movie? But to get into film festivals, that also costs money. And a lot of film festivals, if they reject your short, they won't refund you, So it's like, yeah, you don't make money. Actually, you lose money, right? So you really gotta like making short films. And I think with comics, I've made a little bit more money, like compared to the no amount of money I was making with short films. Like we already like made money with Extra Souls. None of us have gotten it yet because I'm holding on to it so we could like, because I still need to pay for like the shipping on everything, the little envelopes and whatnot that like we send it out and stuff. And but I think with me and Mimiyori, we've done a pretty decent job of like at least being somewhat known online for the comics we made, so that like kind of gives us
yeah, I'm sure it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps. You're not just like, hey guys, I'm new here.
I just moved to this school.
Yeah, check out my stuff.
Right, exactly. Yeah, people read our stuff. I think I also have gotten like my fan base to get used to like buying my stuff. I noticed.
Okay.
Right. Which is something
that's a good culture to cultivate.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's because there's like different, like, you could have a fan base that doesn't necessarily want to buy none of your shit, you know, and you can have like a fan base that like, oh, they're actively like buying your stuff because they've gotten used to like you, like, you know, like I do like pre-orders for like different kinds of comics every other like month or whatnot, and that's like fine and dandy, but it takes so much time and it just takes so long for the money to get to you that by the time it gets to you, you're kind of like, I wish I had this money like 2 months ago. You know, that would have been very helpful 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure it also helps to like have physical copies of these things too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, cause then it's like you get that like exchange of like, I hand you money, you hand me like book sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have
like,
faith.
I'm imagining not everybody does that, but that does seem like if you're going to do that, like might as well, right?
I'll tell you, back when I still had like physical copies of McPaglachi, I was like selling that motherfucker like a used car salesman. And it was a really easy book to like sell to people because I would just stand right in front of like my booth. And then someone walks by.
Should have stood right in front of a McDonald's and been like, hey, you want to hear the real story?
Yeah.
I could have gotten like a McDonald's uniform and gotten like kind of like a tablet to make it seem like, oh yeah, our menu's broken, so you just tell me your order. And like just
I feel like the McDonald's characters were the perfect characters to use because they are very well known, but they're also not because no one knows much about them. They just kind of know what they look like and their names and stuff.
Very ambiguous lore.
Yeah, very ambiguous lore. So whenever I see any McDonald's characters like Funko Pops or whatever, I'm like, oh, that's cheesy. Like I relate it to you because that's the most experience I've had with those characters at this point.
No, that's perfect. Someone, there was a buddy of mine sent me like a picture of like an old school like McDonald's like Halloween pail bucket, and it had a picture of like Grimace on it with binoculars, and in one lens was Hamburglar and the other one was Birdie, and then someone's like, well, like, oh shit, McPuglachi.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, that is fucking wild when it happens.
You said you had a booth somewhere though?
Yeah, I had I do a lot of like booths like locally. I do like markets, like little conventions.
Yeah, you're in what, San Diego?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. It's better when I do kind of like anything that's more focused on like actual like Western comic related stuff, indie projects, art stuff, or like book related. Those are probably like the best places to be to sell your book. Because trying to do like the general like pop culture like events and markets, it's so like annoying because you don't really get too many people coming up to you for like original stuff, you know. They most likely want stuff they could like recognize. So if you have a bunch of like buttons with fucking what's current popular anime, you got your Demon Slayer buttons.
Do you guys have like Deadpool smoking weed? Maybe instead.
Yeah, do you have Shrek hugging Shadow the Hedgehog?
You got Brian Griffin smoking weed with Steven Universe, and that's
rest in peace.
That's the next book. That's
yeah. Actually, just before we recorded today, I was at an arts and crafts festival in Wicker Park. If you can believe it, the Renegade Crafts. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but that's one of those things that like that'd be cool to like, you know, you have a booth and that's just a bunch of people with a bunch of doodads and doohickeys, and then you're like, hey, when you're done looking at all this overpriced shit, you know, this $900 painting of a flower that spent you a long time, and then you can read my well-crafted comic.
Damn,
you know?
That kind of reminds me when I was at this last event. They had this one booth where it was like, I think it was like a local, like, because we get some people from like Mexico, like Mexico-based artists sometimes come up here and they sell their stuff. And there was like a little collective of people from like Tijuana, and they like make comics and they make zines. And one of them was selling a poster, and I was like, oh, this is a cool looking poster. How much does this cost? And it's like, I think it was like $150 for the poster, and I'm like, and in my head, like, I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to come off as rude, being like, do you actually make money? Like, do people actually buy? Do people pay that price?
Yeah.
Well, what I notice about the one that I just went to is people will have like full-sized ones. A lot of times they're just prints, which is like, that's insane for like a print for that to be that much, because I know you made this, but it's just a copy of something you made, and there's unlimited copies. But I get that it's like you put labor in and whatever, and you should get something out of it, and I get that. But a lot of times they'll do that, and then they'll be like, oh, but if you want just like this small one that you can just hang on your wall, this is just like $8, and so you buy the $8 one.
I wish I could like sell McPuglachi for like less than $5 or something, but it's like the kind of printing, the specialty printing it is, you just can't,
right.
Like, you're gonna lose so much money. So usually what I do is like I throw in like a free sticker or something. Like I tell them like, look, you buy this right in front of me, you get a free sticker, buddy. Right? Like, at least sweeten the pot a little bit, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I was gonna go by what my pitch is when someone comes by the booth. But when someone comes by the booth, I like say like, "Hey man, what's your opinion on Ronald McDonald?" Right? And if they say something like, "Oh, I got no opinion," I grab like McPuglachi and I'm like, "Well, I think it might be time to start having an opinion." And they see the cover and they usually like laugh when they see Ronald. Like, whoa, like this guy's got a Ronald McDonald comic, right? And
somebody asks me an open-ended question on the street. My answer is always no, thank you. I shan't be having a conversation. I got places to go.
I encounter some grants once in a while, but most people will hear you out at least. Most people be like, oh, I like your hustle. I like your hustle, but like, I don't got no money on me. And I'm like, no, that's fine, dude. Just letting you know I'm here all day. I try not to be too annoying.
At least they like your hustle.
Yeah. What I don't want to become is the guy at the fucking... I made a tweet about this, but I don't want to become the guy at the mall who like wants to like...
The shoe shiners.
Yes. The shoe shiners.
Oh, those guys. They don't bother me, but my boyfriend is like a fresh meat to them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're salivating when they see him walk by. They're like, "Can I shine your shoes?" Okay, fine. Keep them dirty then. They'll be like rude.
We got guys in Chicago you got to watch out for, but they will just like walk up to you and like spray your shoes and start like wiping them. Like, yeah, because it's like the same people that like walk up to, like, if you're parked in like whatever, and like people will start cleaning your windshield. And then they'll be like, okay, $50.
But nobody's ever like sprayed my shoes.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Those guys are insidious because they'll put their little booths like right where like kind of like the male oriented stores are at. They got it right in front of the GameStop, right in front of like the 24-hour fitness,
the
like
stew shop. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, exactly. No, and they're like, hey, come here, and like, I don't know. Usually I tell them like, oh, I talked to you guys yesterday. I was here. Or I'll be like, oh, sorry, dude, I gotta go. Like,
they don't give a shit.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, I don't
they got
want
a one-track mind.
They want to polish your shoes so bad. They just gotta do it. They just gotta do it. They want you to buy. I wonder
how many of those dudes are foot fetish guys. It's got to be all of them, probably, right?
Would it be a good racket for foot fetish? Because it's like covered, so
Yeah, but it's the closest you can get.
Yeah, I mean, if they're feeling the foot, they could probably use their imagination to piece it together.
Well, you could be shining the shoe and accidentally tug too hard. Oops, it fell off. Uh-oh.
There should be like a sandal polisher, someone who like polishes sandals. Then we'll be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing foot massages at your local mall. Sorry to say.
Yeah. Not my mall. They got an acupuncture place there. And with the little foot picture that's like, oh yeah, if you poke this toe, you'll cure like bladder problems or something. You ever seen that poster?
Yeah.
So we actually we have a couple people who reached out on this episode. We got a voicemail, we got an email. So this is a rather long email. I'm gonna try to paraphrase this as best I can. It comes to us from Kenny.
You can. He sent like
I saw them both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say just like whatever mistake he made, just include that in. So that's whatever, I guess. However you want to do that.
Dear Mimiyori, just wanted to say thanks again for the wonderful piece of art you made for me. For those who don't know, I paid her a fat Benjamin this July to draw Miyuki and Millie from Tekka Man Blade. just talking to each other like normal teenage girls would do, finally tying up loose ends from a series that went totally unresolved for more than 30 years. Yada, yada, yada. Skipping ahead a little bit here. He says, 2 words. Oni-chan Akbar. I don't know. Does that mean anything to you, Mimiyori?
Yeah, no. That's a
Should
that's
I
our,
screen
that's our secret
share
code.
this?
That's our secret code. That me and Kenny were buddies, and Oni-chan Akbar is our thing.
That just
right,
for you guys. Okay.
Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
don't have to. I'll just paraphrase here. Anyways, I was wondering if you gained any interest in watching it since the commission. I love this. I really likes this. It's been stuck in legal limbo for a long time. Since this email is supposed to be for the Thought Cops. Very good point. I hereby sentence the corrupt chuckle fucks at Disney, Saban, and or Media Blasters to either hand over the streaming rights immediately or be sacrificed to the Radam when the alien apocalypse arrives. Brush away those years underneath your swirly glasses.
Tears.
Oh, fuck yeah. He says, I meant tears. God damn it. I fucked up the reference. Under your swirly glasses, Super Volteca.
Should I screen share this art? Is this worth? I mean, he included it in the email, so I don't know.
I mean, sure. I mean, if it aids the episode, it's up to you. It's basically just a girl in a hospital gown on a bed, and then another girl talking to her. And that's
hey, either it aids the episode or it's aids for the episode. But you can decide right here. You can
let us know what kind of aids this was in the comments, good or bad.
Right.
Yeah, this is a commission I did for this Kenny, and he's very happy with it. Which is, you know what? All of my customers are just as satisfied as this person. Whenever you commission me, you will be writing emails to your favorite podcasts, telling them how great my commission was. So
Yes.
that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, commission Mimiyori. If you want to see girls talking to each other, there's no
That's true.
there's no other artist who specializes in it. Like all of her comics have just girls talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
They pass the Bechdel.
Yeah.
I was gonna make the same joke. We were on
Extra
the
Souls
same
passes the
track right
Bechdel
there.
test until the second half when it's just about talking about a man.
Yeah, but it's so long as the entire piece of media,
Yeah.
So
And then we have a voicemail though, don't we, Grant?
yeah. If you want to tell people where they can leave their own voicemail, I can pull it
right.
up for you.
Yes, you can give us a call at 312-788-7361, or you can send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Or, like we said, if you're too shy, you don't want to give us a call, send us an email. Let us know what someone did for you.
Sure. Here's that voicemail.
Hello, close personal friends, the Thought Cops, and also guest artists.
Hello.
So I guess this is a general question after seeing a couple of truly inspiring sites the other day. What is it to any of you? What is inspiring to you? What drives you to create something that you feel as though you're putting a good amount of effort into, and it's something that is satisfying to work on and to see completed? Is there anything like that in the world that stands out in particular? Just a crazy little question. I was wondering what your thoughts were on that. Okay, bye.
Like what inspires us? Like,
Yeah.
he said after he didn't elaborate what it was. He said, I saw a couple of particularly inspiring sites the other day. I wonder what they were.
Yeah,
Does he mean like site SITE or SIGHT?
I think something he saw, but he could also have
Like in
seen a
nature.
website.
So
with
you
his
could
eyes.
see a lot of
Yeah.
things.
was he talking about like being satisfied about finishing like a project?
Like art.
Yeah, because
I think something along those lines.
It sounds like more like if you went to like Mount Rushmore and you're like, this was really impactful for me.
A terrible
What
example.
inspired you to decide to climb Mount Rushmore? And
Yeah.
I was inspired to make breakfast, and I was so satisfied when I finished it. I think that could work in this category, right?
I think I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding.
I feel like I understood it first, and I could have. But then you said the thing about Mount Rushmore.
Clear it up.
No, now I feel cloudy.
I know. Go ahead.
Cloudy.
No, there was
no. That was the end of the thought. The end of the thought was me ending by saying that. So there's nothing for me to
giving our listeners blue balls, being like, "I am so smart. I know exactly what his.
I know
email
the
is."
answer to this question. But
I'm saying that I thought that I had made an assumption that was correct, and that you corrected my correction. And
now you're just fucking confusing me even more.
No, you're confusing me.
Is anybody else confused?
Well, I wasn't.
I'm not asking you. I mean, is anybody else in this room confused? More confused now? Can
someone else just chime in and do a little bit of clarifying, and then we can sort of piggyback off of what you're saying?
I think they were just asking what inspires you as an artist. That's how I.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess me is like I don't know. Most people when they make art. It's like, oh, I made this for myself. I made this because I wanted to make it. No, I make art because I want people to say it's good.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and you knew people were playing. People were playing Among Us like fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is going to do gangbuster numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that original Among Us girl drawing. If it didn't blow up, I probably wouldn't make more. I'm sorry.
True.
That's just how it is.
Just the way the world works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if that's not inspirational enough for you, Mr. Mount Rushmore.
I think
beautiful sights.
Mr.
No, I think that was Kevin that brought up Mount Rushmore.
Oh
no, well, I do wonder what he was inspired by. He said I saw some beautiful sights.
He should have said
so I'm also now wondering. Yeah.
Let us know next time. Let us know what that was.
Well, yeah, I guess we can answer. The rest of us can answer the best we can. Cheesy, what inspires you?
There's this one
Is it
quote.
Clowns?
Yeah, clowns inspire me. But also there's this one quote. I'm going back to Alan Moore for a second, but he did say that one time that people should consume like bad art because bad art might be the most form of inspirational art there is, and that's because usually, and I think people kind of people talk about like bad movies or bad pieces of media like this, and they don't realize like what they're doing is that they're like kind of engaging with it creatively. Is like. When you watch something bad and you think like, oh, they should have done this or they should have done that, and not realizing, oh, you're kind of like doing a little bit of a creative exercise, right? And like, yeah, because the bad piece of work has inspired you to figure out how do I make this like work? How do I make this better? You know? And with that being said, I think the dark universe inspires me a lot, you know, because
The Mummy,
that like if I did the dark universe, it would be kind of like the Conjuring movies. Where like you got the main character would be Van Helsing, and there'd be like a trilogy, and then you'll shove as many monsters as you can in each one of the movies, and then each monster will get a spin-off trilogy, you know, and you'll have the main core Van Helsing universe movie series, you know, and I think that's that makes me feel good when I say these things, and that's what inspires me.
In the part of Dracula where I'm at now, Van Helsing he's just a doctor.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's doing like house calls. He's like, I'm going to hit your knee with this hammer and see if you do a little kick. And
that's not as badass as I was hoping.
It's not. I was like, yeah, this sucks. This is boring.
In my universe, Van Helsing has long white hair. He kind of looks like an anime pretty boy. You know, and
an animoid.
Right. Yeah, he looks like an animoid.
Also, in Dracula, in the original Dracula book, Dracula has a mustache. Nobody ever talks about Dracula's mustache. He's got a long white mustache.
White. Because I whenever I think of Dracula, I guess I always just think of like the Castlevania one, like the one they use where he's got that long black mustache, the black hair. He kind of looks like Justin Wang.
Maybe.
Chinese Dracula. I think that's the next direction to go for the woke mob.
The dark universe. You listening?
Yeah, I'll make a fuck. If you want to make Dracula Chinese in my dark universe, I'm down. You know, it doesn't matter.
Why not?
Because
I think what you were saying though, along the lines of like even bad art, like is something like if people engage with it, sort of thing. Like, I do like that aspect of like art in general, and the idea that like you know, there's always like, what did the artist mean by this? And then what did the audience get out of it? And then like, what it is somewhere like in the middle of that, and how like so many people like expect something. It reminds me of like one of those statue Twitter people made something that was like the difference between good art and like shitty modernist art.
Yeah.
And it was like good art makes you happy and shitty modernist art makes you feel weird.
That was a chart, right?
Just like,
he made a chart,
huh?
Right? He made a chart, right?
Chart.
The
yeah,
chart.
it was like
crazy.
the difference between the two, the chart. I couldn't find it right now if I wanted to, but it is one of those things where it's like I do feel like sometimes people put so much stock in like, I think what people will think about their tastes, that it like it skewers sort of like how they interact with things, because it's like, oh, you can't say that you liked something that someone's going to judge you for because it's reflective of your taste being bad, even though you can like bad things. And even the idea that like a bad thing may or may not exist in many different forms sort of thing is like really interesting to me. And just like, even you look at like Morbius and how like Morbius was like a bad movie, but how like the joke around how bad it was like elevated it to this like meta meme sort of thing where it's like nobody even knows anything about this movie. Like no one's going to see
that's
it.
kind of what Among Us Girl was too.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I know about Morbius.
I think,
Doctor
like,
Who's in it.
I do like agree with that of like you can't just watch good things because you have to know how things are bad also. But I feel like I have less like tolerance and patience for watching like bad movies these days. Like when I was like in college, I watched like a ton of bad movies and I loved watching riff tracks, all that kind of stuff. And like these days, like,
overdid it. You OD'd.
well, I think it's also a difference of like what is like a bad movie nowadays, because like a lot of movies now that are bad are like big blockbusters, and they're just like boring bad.
Yeah.
They're not like The Room bad, funny bad, like Birdemic, Shock and Terror.
It's like
It's just
someone
like-
poured $1 billion into this fucking Lord of the Rings thing, but nobody's talking about it because it's not interesting.
Or like you said, fucking Morbius. It's like that's bad, but like it's
Right.
like I get, what do I get out of this? Like
Nothing.
like what can I analyze here? That they just poured a bunch of money into something, they didn't put any effort in, and it didn't work.
Right.
Okay,
Whereas,
well, I guess I won't do that.
A long time ago, like a bad movie was like, oh, some idiot with zero budget made the worst film we've ever seen.
I love those.
And
guys,
everyone
yeah.
loves it.
Yeah, because it's about being sincere. Like it's the sincerity, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's like it's just it's harder to find like that stuff nowadays. Aside from like maybe like Neil Breen, and even then I'm not even sure anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Kevin, what inspires you?
I was kind of nervous about this one. I hope you wouldn't ask me, because I'm like, I don't even know what inspires me anymore. Like, I know that's kind of a weird answer, but like, I really don't know. Like,
Go back to childhood. What makes you tick? What gives you the?
I mean, a lot of things used to inspire me. I feel like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like as you get older, it is a thing of like, well, I just want to be working on something, and I don't.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I don't
Yeah.
need to be like deriving something out of something in order to like, you know, like pull inspiration. It's like I'm not looking to be inspired all the time, but
I mean, like,
you know,
every once in a while, like I'll see a movie, like a new movie that like I'm like, damn, like that really redefines like what I thought a movie could be, or like something that maybe seems like something even I could do.
Right.
I think if it's like something, I see something that it's like, oh, I could do that, that's inspiring to me. I mean, even like there's like plenty of other podcasts I listen to that I think are funny, and I kind of like, well, you know, maybe one day I could be funny.
Yeah,
maybe one day.
Yeah,
I relate to that in the sense that like I will try and seek things out that I feel like are not things that I would like, just to sort of see if it takes, sort of thing, you know, just like, let me watch this TV show that I'm not really interested in, just to whatever. Let me watch this movie, like the, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
like I try and keep like an open mind, because it's like, I don't know, maybe something will resonate or whatever. But I feel like for me, it's like things that like I always end up coming back to. like, you know, when you're at a certain stage of your life and something sort of like blows you away, and then like, you know, you get older and you don't listen to the same music, you don't watch the same movies, but like for some reason like the same album always comes up or whatever. And it's one of those things where it's like I feel like I get obsessed with like certain like the holistic creation of something that I feel like is powerful, that I like will continue listening to, and I'll get like some sort, I think for music a lot of times, but like Francis the Mute from the Mars Volta, I feel like is an album that I will just like always revisit, and I'll just be like, you know, the story and the music and like everything relating to this album is like so like I've been listening to this for now like almost 20 years sort of thing, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's like it still resonates, and like if I make something that's like my own version of that, like what can I take from it sort of thing, you know, like if I'm writing a book, like how can I make like the Francis the Mute version of the book that I'm working on that like has that like longevity, and where it's like you can always get something new out of it through multiple listens, and you never get sick of it, or you get sick of it but then you shelve it and then you come back to it sort of thing, you know.
I guess like I would say like in terms of like when I was younger, like a lot of early Adult Swim shows, like the cartoons and stuff like that, like Aqua Teen and Space Ghost and stuff, that was super formative for me. And then even when I was like a bit older, like a lot of the Absolutely stuff, like Tim and Eric, Nathan For You, Eric Andre, like that stuff, like I was like obsessed with that. I almost got an internship there at one point, and I was like, every time, like sometimes I think about that and I would wonder like what would it have been like if I ended up doing this unpaid internship that was I'd have to move cross country for, but you know, that was big for me.
Do you still like go back to some of that stuff? Because I know we like reviewed like the Tim and Eric movie, and it was like not as great as we thought.
Sometimes I mean, like even like I was like watching a Nathan For You clip, and I feel like surprisingly it wasn't hitting for me quite as much anymore. I think because I look at things a lot more from like the perspective of like somebody making it, and I'm like, this is fake. This part's, you know, I'm really analyzing it very heavily, and that's not like traditionally a fun thing to do, but it's also like I've seen these a million times. So
I feel like that's harder to do with comedy, because I feel like comedy is really just like a lightning in the bottle thing. Like it's just gotta like gotta hit, and it's gotta make you laugh. And I do feel like it expires a lot quicker because you're not always gonna get the same reaction. So like I feel like that's like a thing with music, is like you can like listen to the same song 100 million times and like get like a different dopamine hit each time sort of thing. Or like certain movies, you go back and rewatch a movie and you either like re-feel something or you feel something different or something like that. But comedy is like hard.
I think comedy ages very poorly. It ages like milk. And like even though I loved stuff like when I was younger and everything, it just like most of it is like you just had to be there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just a big, like, it's still, you can appreciate it on some level, but it never quite hits the same as when it was like fresh and like super biting, you know?
Right.
Hell yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
True. I agree with all that.
Philosophical bread tube conversation. Post this on bread tube.
We're going full bread tuber. We're tilting full bread.
How can this add to communism?
Hello, bread tube.
Mark,
I got I got a podcast you might want to listen to.
the Marxism in Morbius. Oh shit!
Exactly. That's exactly the kind of stuff. What the fuck is going on?
Grant, you're giving me a seizure, Grant.
On that note, I think this is a great time for you guys to plug your stuff. If you guys want to say where we can find you,
Mimiyori, you can go first this time.
Okay. Basically, if you want to find my stuff, I pretty much come up when you type Mimiyori in the search bar on Google. My Twitter or my X or my Twitter will come up, and then my Tumblr and all that kind of stuff. But then if you don't want to do that, you can just go straight to serendipitycomic.com, all lowercase, whatever. And it'll have all of my links on cute little, like pictures that you can click, so you know exactly where you're going.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
And with me, Cheesymanfredo on Google, you're going to find all my stuff. Don't look up Cheesymanfredo controversies. You don't need to look that up.
That's like the top section of your Wikipedia,
Yes.
controversies.
I think maybe the big Twitter artist comic pops up when you type that. I'm not sure exactly. But don't type.
I'm actually going to search that now.
What is going on
Don't
there?
look
Curious. You've piqued my curiosity.
Cheesymanfredo alleged racism. Don't look that up. But yeah, it's Cheesymanfredo and everything. I'm on TikTok. I'm a big TikTok artist now. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky for the 10 people who are on Blue Sky.
Yeah, I always forget I have one. I'm like, oh.
I think
Yeah.
I think once they open
hard.
it to the public, I think we're going to see a lot more action on there.
They did. I think that they took it out of like, when you send invites, because I got an email that was like, if you signed up for a trial, you can, whatever, because I already have an account. But I think that they're opening it up more. And yeah, I think when it goes like fully public, it might be different. But yeah, I like post something and I get like no likes and I'm like, well, I'll just not.
Yeah.
I could do that on X right now.
Yeah.
I'm just reposting old stuff on there, and they give you like an invite code every week, and so I just inviting friends slowly on there.
Yeah.
Right. I think because they want there to be a lot of content on there first before they start opening it up to like more of a casual kind of audience, right?
Yeah, as opposed to what Threads did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which was you open it and it blows up right in your eyeballs and you go, I can't do this. And then nobody does it anymore.
True that.
Remember Threads?
I'm still on Threads. There's nothing there.
Do you use it a lot?
What was that?
Do you use Threads a lot?
No, I sometimes if I make a comic and I see that it does pretty good numbers, I'm like, okay, this might do some numbers on the more dead media sites. So I post it there. I post a couple of comics on Threads. I don't really see too much interaction because I think the only kind of people who use Threads are like accounts where they're just like promoting something.
Arby's.
Yeah, Arby's. Right, Arby's is on
I
there.
got in a fight with Arby's as soon as I opened Threads. Arby's told me to chill out. Yeah, I know what you mean. I had a video of my cat turning on its automatic cat feeder. Automatic cat feeder. Excuse
you got to
me,
write up
sorry.
about that. Yeah.
Viral star.
Yeah, and I posted it on Twitter and it got 9 likes. And I posted it on Instagram and it got 20 likes. And then I posted it on TikTok and it's at 6.6 million views with 600,000 plus likes. And it's like, wow, I know why I spend a majority of my time on TikTok.
Yeah.
It is because they are the only people that appreciate me. Nobody else does.
Yeah.
TikTok is the only social media with an actual working algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I did pretty good numbers with I did a comic this past Christmas where it's like Jesus carrying the crucifix, but he has a giant ass and it's like swinging in the air. And the Roman guards are like behind him, like all kind of like horny. It's based on that one meme. I don't know if you saw the one where it's like a black guy who has a huge ass and he's being followed.
Yeah. I know what you're
That's what I was doing a parody of, and everyone kept commenting me. They kept saying like, "Oh, you're going to hell. This is blasphemy. Like, what the fuck, man?"
Shut up.
The same thing happened to me when I posted that Omori doll getting crucified, and they're like, "This is not good. This is offensive to Christians." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I feel really bad about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna offend Christians, man. Christians, like, look, you can't offend Christians because our fucking year calendar is literally following the life of their guy. You know, the name of their god is on our money, dude.
The biggest holiday.
Big
of the
ups
year.
to Gregory.
Yeah.
Big fan of his work.
You guys won. You guys won. What do you got to complain about? Like, come on.
Yeah, if they somehow lose everything,
then we'll
maybe
be talking.
then I'll feel bad.
Then we'll be talking. But until then, until Ramadan becomes the new Christmas, we're gonna, set that aside.
Hey man, that's what Fox News thinks is going to happen. You just wait. You're going to be celebrating Ramadan, and it's like, I don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't care. I just want
Does Ramadan have a
to eat?
If Ramadan
and
gets
drink.
if Ramadan gets like a Santa, then maybe they'll start, to get their own version of Santa that gives you more presents.
Christmas didn't even have a Santa. That was Coca-Cola.
That is what ramen need. Or oh my god, ramen, Ramadan. Let's end the fucking
Ramadan.
episode. I was gonna say they should have a Pepsi Santa. but whatever.
Pepsi does a Santa
Yeah,
for Ramadan. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Pepsi.
You gotta
I don't
make
want
a
to say
comment about
something
that,
wrong on
Jesus.
accident.
Yeah, I just might after I do the one that me and Kevin wrote with Frankenstein and Fire. After that, we'll do the Pepsi Santa.
Well, I'm gonna let you get back to that, Cheesy. I'm gonna, as soon as we stop here, you can draw that up right away.
Nice.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Everybody, check out Extra Souls. It's out there. You can find
it's
it.
out online.
Yeah.
And if everything goes well, it'll be in stores. Maybe. Who knows?
It'll be at Barnes and Noble, and BAM.
If we do everything right, Mimiyori is going to be signing it in your local town pretty soon.
Yep.
We got an independent comic shop here in Wicker Park.
Ooh.
That's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I go to Chicago often. It's only
you should check out
2
Quimby's.
hours away.
Go to Quimby's.
I'll go to
like Mayor
Quimby's.
Quimby.
Yeah, they actually have a Mayor Quimby toy.
How do you spell that?
QUIMBYS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you for the tip.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you could promote your own, like, after you ask them, you could do that. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the other side.
See you, Space Cop.
Goodbye.